What's happening, peoples? Welcome to the Armchair Pundits Arsenal post-match review show with me, Bevan, and you can tell I am happy. We have just won 1-0 against Brighton in one of the ugliest 1-0 wins you'll probably see this season. And I don't care. I said before the game, we need to get in, get out, come away with a victory, and that's exactly what happened today. You can look at the game and you can see after 3 minutes, it's like the nerves are setting already. Raya makes a pass out and it goes to Belieber, who tries to chip him, and we've got to thank our lucky stars. Whether it's going to be a 4-leaf clover or a 3-leaf clover, whatever the lucky one is, a horseshoe, a rabbit's foot, a leprechaun, whatever lucky charm we had today, it was working for us. Because as Belieber's gone to chip Raya, there is Gabriel to clear it off the line. And that's after 3 minutes. And then you're worried. Because, let's have it right, in that first half, Brighton were the ones that seemed to be in control. They seemed to be the ones that were the more threatening, the more attacking. I mean, we had one shot in that first half. We had 2 shots the whole game, but one shot in the first half, and that's when Saka's cut in, had a shot, and our luck was in because it got a little bit of a deflection and went straight through Verbruggen's legs. He's had a shocker there. We have rolled our luck, and we go into half-time 1-0 up. Now, I'm going to tell you now that I was waiting for half-time. I was waiting for us to regroup. First half was pretty much like the second half, and it was just ugly. That's all I can say. I am so happy over the ugliest 1-0 win you will see ever. So we get into the second half, and it seems that like it's much of the same. So Brighton take off Matoma, and then they bring on Minte, and he's giving us problems. Now, in the first half, Mosquera gets a yellow card, and it seems that there seems to be a lot of one-on-ones with Mosquera and Minte, which was kind of worrying me because he was getting the better of him. Minte was getting the better of him. And there was a tackle that Mosquera made, and Minte stays on his feet. If he goes down, then there could be a penalty, there could be a red card. We're down to 10 men, and it's panic stations. But he doesn't, stays on his feet, and this is another situation where we're riding our luck because he takes a shot or a cross, and then it comes off of Raya's leg and bounces off 2 players and goes out for a corner. And it's just, that was just the nature of the game. It just seemed that there were moments of Brighton being gun shy. They didn't have their shooting boots on. Raya had a chance to have a shot that Raya saves comfortably. And then there's a header that Hinchwood has that kind of is nothing. We bring on Havertz, we bring on Norgard, we bring on Calafiori in the second half to see the game out. And it's when we bring on Calafiori, we start to get a bit more control into the game, and it looks like we're going to see the game out, which is pretty much what we do. But in terms of chances, I mean, we had 2 shots on target, should I say. 2, one in the first half, one in the second half. One we score from, and one where Verbruggen makes a save, which he should do because he's at his near post, really, and that was from Kai Havertz. But other than that, we didn't really trouble Brighton in attack. Not at all. I mean, I said before in my match reactions that I'll take these scrappy, ugly wins throughout the season, but I don't know. I think if I looked at my watch and then looked at my stress levels, they'll be through the roof because it is kind of nervy. The best thing about that is that we don't necessarily play our best, and we've come away from another victory. That's two back-to-back victories against a Chelsea team and now a Brighton team. That Brighton's a difficult ground to go to, and we don't play well, and we've come away with a 1-0 win. Now, there are times in games in years gone by where if we don't play well, then we don't win. But now it seems that there's a bit of ugliness, as I've said, and we're able to come through difficult moments in games, and where games that we look like we might not get something out of them, we've either come away with a draw or we come away with a victory. And today we've come away with a victory in a game that could quite easily have been a draw. I mean, in terms of what we're talking about or what we're looking at in this game, there's not much that really happened for us in attack. Most of the attack looks like it came from Brighton, but they just really didn't have their shooting boots on. It was just a lot of huff and puff from them, and maybe on another day they would have got something out of the game, but today weren't their day. And I've got to take my hat off to Arteta, because at the moment when we needed it, that's when he made changes. He didn't risk Mosquera, who was on a yellow card and potentially getting a red, so he took him off. He took off Zubimendi to give Norgard some minutes, and he took off Gyökeres and brought on Havertz, because I think that we're going to need Havertz if we're going to get over the line this season, to be honest with you. And it's just a 1-0 victory that put a smile on my face, because it was just relief. And I think that the fact that Man City have drawn today, that makes that 1-0 victory even sweeter. The most beautiful, ugly 1-0 victory that you'll see, and that we'll just take. I don't care what anyone else has got to say about the style of football that we play or the way that we play. At this point of the season, at this time, we just need to take victories and keep them coming. So we've got the FA Cup, then we've got Everton at home, and we need to keep the momentum up with what we got and keep the pressure on, keep moving forward and keep going. I'm Bevan, this is the Armchair Pundits, Arsenal review show. Please like, comment and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go in the comments and say if you think that this is sustainable, if Arsenal can keep this up to the end of the season. Let me know what you think. Catch you in the next one.